All right, guys, we are excited to get started. This is an amazing Zoom on the 4+1 and overcoming obstacles on how to enroll distributors. It's the number one probably text inbox that I get all the time is how to enroll distributors. So I want to make sure that we're going to cover that. It's usually an obstacle. So if we can help you overcome that and how to speak to them, you guys are going to have more signups on getting those distributors. So I'm super excited to have some rock stars on. Before we jump right into it, I am Stephanie Dunn. This is my husband, Joel Dunn, and we've been in for 12 years. And I am more excited than ever before on how simple we have broke this down for you guys. Like, I am super pumped for that. So
you thought it was easy. It just got way easier.
Yeah, it's sometimes I think we overthink things, like this can't be how simple it really is. And I want you guys to really start getting that through your head. We have some screen shares we're going to be doing tonight. So I want to make sure you have that and make sure you have either your notes out on your phone so that you can take notes of a couple apps that you guys can download. And then there's going to be scripts in the chat that you can go ahead and copy. So I just kind of wanted to do some housekeeping on what is coming. So you're going to want to make sure that you stay on through the whole time tonight. Sometimes people want to jump off. We'll try to get down to it pretty quick so that we can get all the information out and going. But I'm going to start with something. I actually told Joel I was going to wait till the end, but I'm going to read you guys this story because it's a lot of what I think we just need to hear right now. And I think back of when I got started and a why I got started. So my first why was a little bit of like, I didn't have the money to get the product. So I wanted the free product, or I wanted to make some money to get that free product. So what would you do? And you guys can write this down. If you saw that $5,000 dropped into your account, do you have a plan? Is it to pay bills? Is it to maybe go on a vacation? Is it to help out with Christmas? Like, what are those things? Are you imagining what that feels like going into your account? So I want to kind of start you guys with that. I know what I could do with $5,000. Like, there's no question. I know exactly, where I can give to, what I can do with it. So that's one of the things I want to make sure you guys do that as we're going in. It's going to also help you with your mindset of how you're going to get that 4 and the 1. So here we go. Bear with me on this. So this is a story that I have in my phone of sometimes I just need to send it to people, and I can actually put this in the chat. So if you guys want to save this in your notes or something for later on when you're getting a new distributor started, it's a great power of the why. So a young student approaches his mentor one day and asks, "Sir, how do I become successful? It seems I'm missing something. I have tried different businesses. I have worked hard. I'm great with people, and I know how to focus, but it seems everything I try never works out the way that I planned." The mentor looked at the student for a moment and said, "Let me tell you a story." It's Monday morning, and Roger rises slowly out of bed, his bones aching and head spinning. It takes a good 10 minutes just to get to his feet. His wife and daughter are still asleep. He walks slowly to the bathroom, and next to the mirror, there is a scale. He hops on just like every morning over the last 15 years. It reads 589 pounds. He is a 39-year-old and has been battling obesity his entire life. He hasn't weighed less than 400 pounds since he was 19 years old. Roger has tried every diet, every exercise, and every weight loss program out there. Thousands of useless dollars down the toilet, he thought. He started thinking of how hard he had tried over the years. He truly gave it everything he had, and regardless of effort, he never managed to lose more than 40 to 50 pounds, and it always came back shortly after. Depressed, he finally just accepted the fact that it's not just possible. Maybe my body type and metabolism won't allow me to lose weight, he thought. One night, Roger and his family were out having dinner at their favorite restaurant, and he looked up and saw an uneasy look on his daughter's face. She was 12 years old, and she was his world. Moments later, she collapsed and passed out at the table. The police were called, and a few moments later, an ambulance arrived to take her to the hospital. Roger and his wife rushed to the hospital, scared to death, and prayed dearly that she was okay. They were in the waiting room for about an hour when the doctor came in with a worried look on his face. He explained that their daughter was stable, but there was a big problem. Her kidneys were failing, and although she was on dialysis, she was going to need an immediate transplant. Roger, still in disbelief, immediately offered to be a donor for his daughter. The doctor nodded, and workups began for the transplant. A few minutes later, the doctor came in and said, in a sad tone in his voice, he informed Roger that that the workups came back and the news wasn't good. Due to his weight, he would not be possible to do the procedure, and Roger could not donate his kidney to his daughter. It would be too dangerous, and they simply could not take the risk. Roger, holding back tears of disbelief, asked the doctor a simple question. I have to be my daughter's donor. How can I make this happen? How much weight would I need to lose? How much time do I have for this to work? The doctor, looking concerned, informed Roger that to even consider the procedure, he would have to lose 250 pounds in the next 5 months for it to be possible to do the procedure. The mentor looked at the student and asked him the simple question, do you believe Roger lost the weight? Do you guys believe that? You can put it in the chat, yes or no. The student replied immediately, of course he did. There's no answer to your question. The mentor wisely replied, if you can truly understand why he lost the weight that time and not all the other times, you will truly understand how to be successful in anything you pursue in life. It's never the how, it's always a why that holds people back from their dreams and desires. Make your why meaningful, make it emotional, make it worth going all in. When your why becomes big enough, you become unstoppable and success becomes inevitable. What is your why? So as I was reading that, I couldn't help but think, sometimes we have to set ourselves up for timelines. And when you want something so bad, it's like, there's no obstacle that you can't get through. And so, like I said, a lot of you are always like, okay, my one thing is I can get customers, but distributors seem to be hard. So we really want to make sure that we're going to give you some of those scripts on how to overcome that. And once you do it, you guys, you're just like, oh, this wasn't that hard. Like I can do it. And a lot of it starts in our mind. So getting that right. So envisioning that Christmas cash. That's why I wanted you guys to hear that a little bit. What are you going to do with that? How would it feel to help somebody be able to get them started in this business and start to transform their life? You guys, that's like life-changing stuff that just feels good when you can help others. So being excited that you have the ability to offer that to people is a big, big deal. So I'm going to kind of go in after, but I wanted to bring in Taylor and a couple girls that have already completed their 4+1. So that's gathering their 4 customers and 1 distributor. And now they're on their way to helping that distributor complete the same thing. So I'll bring on Taylor first. So Taylor, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
Hi. I'm so excited. So tell them a little bit about who you are, how long you've been in, and we want to know 4+1. We want to know what it is that how did that happen for you?
Yeah, guys. So I'm Taylor Grindstaff. I have been in for almost 6 years. The end of this year will be 6 years that I've been in the business. Stay at home for 5.5 now. And I absolutely love this and would not be here without this business. But 4+1, it's very, very simple. Like Steph said, everyone just tries to overcomplicate it. They overthink it and like trying to do 50 million things when it's you don't have to do 50 million things. But 4 customers, 1 distributor. Basically how I got 4 customers was host to post. Host to post works if you work it consistently. That's the key, is consistently, because sometimes like I got into a slum where I said host to post wasn't working, and it's because I wasn't doing it consistently. So host to post consistently works. And then just as far as distributor goes, there's several different things you can do, but offering host to post people the opportunity, going back to old customers and offering the opportunity because they already love the product. But then also, if you're really good at helping customers get started, just offering that to them before they get started because they're already getting products. So why not join the business, make money, and get the product too?
I mean, really, that's that easy. And I kind of even had her share a little bit last week, but it was one of those things like, okay, I can get the customers, but what about the distributors? And a lot of it's going to start in your head on the belief system and just asking. I know that a lot of maybe new distributors, maybe you've never got a distributor before. And so you're like, how do I do that? And the first thing you need to do is start to ask. And so one of those ways that Taylor did that, one of the simplest things to do is, yes, host to post. Again, if you don't know what that is, or you haven't tried, start to learn right now. And that way it's an easy transition of when they go ahead and they want to order the product, you can just offer the business opportunity to them. was it hard to flip that person to a distributor, Taylor? Or was it kind of an easy conversation?
I mean, it's honestly like when you are passionate about this business, product or business, all of it, it's so easy because you're passionate about it and you're just telling them and they can sense that excitement in you and they want to be in it. I mean, when you see people on social media and everything, you see them happy, you ultimately want to know, well, what's making them happy? Like, what do they have that I need to make me happy? And so they can sense that. And so they want to be a part of that. And it overflows it. And it's really easy and simple if you just put in the work and talk to the people like they're actual people and not just a robot.
Yes. Like, amen to that. I know you guys all want scripts and you're going to get some in the chat because I know you're waiting for some of those. But also don't forget to make it yourself, because I know it's so much easier when you're talking to them and you're just excited, and I don't want you to think you have to have kind of the perfect wording to do it. You just got to start. The quicker that you can jump all into you guys, the faster that you're going to get results with that distributor. And I just know from there, you've already shown them, they've hosted a post for you. So why it's kind of an easy transition to teach that new distributor that you just enrolled how to do what we do is they hosted a post for you, probably, if you're asking them for the business, right? So now we just need to teach them, watch this video. And then really it's just getting them into the idea of asking, going on, setting their phone for 10 minutes and reaching out and just doing it as, hey, can I ask you a favor? And it really comes down to that. Would you mind throwing this post up for me? And most people are so open to say yes. And that is not scary. So that's an easy way to start, you guys. Even if you aren't in a giveaway, most teams have giveaways that they're doing. And so you can teach that new distributor, hey, you're going to be into our new giveaway. And so I'm going to teach you how to kind of start growing those customer base and that distributor base just by even just to host a post. And we know that there's so much more. Do you have any tips on this?
Yeah. So I was just going to piggyback off of that. The message that I send out to people, I do like what Amber Parker talked about a few weeks ago. She goes into her friends list, sorts oldest to newest, and then goes to the mutual friends you have with that person. So if you haven't seen that, go watch that video. I'm sure it's on YouTube replay wise. But and you do that for like a couple people, get 20, 30 messages sent out in like 15 minutes if you have boards or text replacement. And the message I send out is really easy. I ask if like I can ask them a question or ask them a favor. And I don't even mention the giveaway at all. Like they're just simply doing me a favor out of the goodness of their heart, because there are so many still good people out there. But they 9 times out of 10 they'll post for me, and if not, they're like, I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's fine. You just move on to the next person. Mm-hmm. But that's what I do, and I don't even mention the giveaway to them. And if they want to, like, when I post about the giveaway on my wall, eventually, like I only do that like once a month anyway, then they can re-enter, get another entry. But this is just another way to not even necessarily mention the giveaway. If your team, for whatever reason, isn't doing a giveaway or whatever, it's just an easy way to get hosted posts up.
Yeah, I love that. And something that you guys want to do right away, if you haven't, is log into your eSuite. Mike had it on the call last night on Mark's page. Was he actually printed off your new kind of the fast track, the fast start way, the fast start bonus of what you're doing. And I've always been pencil and paper girl. Like if I can write it down, it's like it starts to happen. And so that's another thing that I want to make sure you guys have that printed off. And you can just go down to your eSuite and log it in. And I think Joel has a picture of that. So even if you want to take a screenshot of this or go into your eSuite and take a screenshot so you have it on your phone, so that way you can go ahead and even have it as your backdrop, as your phone saver, whatever you need to do, so that you can see where are you heading in that direction. I'm going to talk to 2 different groups right now. There's some of you that have been with us and started before September 7th. And then there's new people that are coming along each day and each week, each month. So if you're a distributor that has been in before September 7th, I'm going to talk to you first. You had your 30-day reset start on September 1st. And so we want to make sure that you know you need your 4 loyal customers in your first 30 days. So by September 30th, and then that 1 distributor in by September 30th to fill that first kind of circle. And so that's why I want to make sure you have that in front of you. It will help you instead of like waiting to the last minute and then you're going to panic. Like that's not what we want. Plenty of time. Like you want to make sure you have as many messages out and you're talking to as many people as possible. Again, that story of the why. How bad do you want that? Right? And it's a lot of money, you guys. $5,000 paid out before Christmas in a lump sum. Like that's a lot. This never been happened. And so I know, thinking back when I got started, if I would have had $5,000 drop in, I would have passed out. That was like half of my income for the year. That's a lot when I started. So when you start thinking about it like that, that is a sense of urgency. Like how bad do you want it? It's not a bad thing when you're reaching out to people and talking about the product, because we know that the product is healthy. It can give them energy. It can help them with weight loss. It can it can help with really so many things. So being excited and reaching out those customers and then following up with past, or maybe you haven't even got started, but who is that one person that we're going to talk to about being a distributor? Do you have a list, Taylor? And I'll come on and bring on Lizzie in a second, but is there a list? Is there something that when you heard this and you were like 4 LCs and 1 DT, or were you just like, I'm just going to go for my host to post because I know I can get customers and I'm going to offer that? Or did you kind of do a mix of both?
So I did a mix, but I mean, host to post is just consistency. I do that every day regardless. So I didn't necessarily do more of it. I just kept being consistent with that. But then reaching out to those potentials, like I have my calendar and everything where I write when someone says, oh, I get paid Friday or Monday, I write them in my calendar. I immediately went back to those people first and said, hey, like I'm putting in orders right now. Did you want to get yours in? Let them know first, and consistently did host to post. But then for distributor wise, I use keywords in Facebook Messenger, which I learned from Steph like forever ago. And it's awesome. When I talk to people, I try to use the same word at least once in the conversation. So I can search that and go back to those messages and let those people know, hey, we have a great promotion going on. Do you want to be part of it? So I let them know first and then kind of went from there and posted on my wall and things like that.
Perfect. You guys hear that? Make sure you guys write that tip down. Sometimes we forget about that we can go into Facebook, into our search bar in our messages and type keywords, and it'll pull up anybody that you possibly talk to about becoming a distributor. I'm going to kind of go back and forth a little bit here, because one of the obstacles that you may get is, I don't have the money. Does anybody get that as an obstacle when you're talking to potentials? If money is a problem, do a 2 for me so I can see if there's people that have that obstacle of, well, I just don't have the money yet, or that's a lot of money. Okay. So,
I mean, that's the whole reason why you need to do this with us.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of pointing to the why you need to get in.
So I want you to change your mindset here a little bit. When you're going in and you're talking to the potential, first you're like, oh my gosh, I've got somebody that's possibly excited about making money. They saw my 4+1, 5,000 before Christmas. Who's interested? However you started the conversation, now you have a potential, and you're talking to them, and you get to the kit price and they're like, crickets. So there's a couple different ways that you're going to go about this. And one of the thing is value. You guys are giving them so much value when they join. It's $149, but they're getting about $400 worth of product. Okay. So they're coming in with an amazing amount of product to be able to either use themselves, to be a product of the product, to get some results and quick results. You guys, with that much product, they're going to see some great, they're going to feel good. They can talk about how they feel. They're going to start losing weight, maybe having more energy, or they can sell that product. So really they can do that. So I let them know, hey, it's only $149 for your business kit, and you're going to get over $400 worth of value with product and a personalized website. You know, how exciting is it that you can enter into this for $149 and 5,000 by Christmas? And so when you know you're helping them, you're not just going to get them in and leave them hanging. You know, you're going to help and do everything possible that you can to help them with that $5,000. So having that little bit of confidence, that you know you're going to be there every step of the way. Okay. So that's one of the things. I'm going to have Joel throw some of the message I have here. You don't have to do it right now. In a second, after I go through some of these obstacles, so you guys can.
I'm not going to do it right now.
Do that. But that's one of the things is usually the money is okay. So one of the questions that I ask them is, if it was no money, would you join? Find out that first too. Say, okay, if the kit was $0, would you join? And so what that does is it eliminates people that are just giving you an excuse, because we don't want people that are just telling you, I just don't have the money, when it might be they don't want to hurt your feelings and say they don't want to do the business. So this eliminates, and you can clear your friends list now too on who you can potentially get as distributors or customers, rather than, okay, they don't really want to do the business, because even if it was $0, they're going to say no, then exit them out of your friends list. That's sometimes hard for people, but it's a business. And I want you guys to learn it's okay to say no and yes to the right things. And that's one of the things that I think is a good thing. So make sure you do that. One of the other ways to do that is, well, we do have another option for you. And if you go ahead and download this app, and I'm going to have Amanda share here in just a few minutes, and talking about an app that you can download to help you get started in payments and sections. So that's something I do last minute. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I have not had anyone bat an eye at 149. They have not questioned me at all, because I'm so excited about the $5,000. Like, I'm talking to them about that. And then 149 is nothing to invest to go for $5,000. You have to talk to them about, like, what would you do with $5,000 by Christmas?
Mm-hmm. And guys, just so you know, when I hear Steph talking on the phone to potential distributors, that's exactly how she talks. She talks to them about the potential that they have, what they can get. She's always talking about the dollar amounts and the difference. That's why she doesn't have anybody batting an eye at $149, is because they're so excited about getting $500 and then getting a $5,000 bonus, that they understand that it's going to take something to get involved. And when she tells them, it doesn't seem that much when they can make it back in their first week if they put in the work.
Yeah. So the good thing is, when we're doing this, you guys, when we're teaching 4 customers and 1 distributor, and we're helping them do that, and their distributor does it, it's $500. So over the next 30 days, would you invest $149 for $500 in the next 30 days? Because that's your time limit. That's a little bit of a sense of urgency of, we want to make sure that we do everything to help them get that locked in so that they do it. Because it not only benefits them, it benefits you. It's like a perfect circle that's going to start to help benefit you. So being excited about that, being like, we need to get you in right now. Like, there's no time to wait. Like, let's get you moving for that $5,000. We can knock this out pretty quick. So let's get you up a post right away so that we can start getting the interaction. I can start teaching you and adding you into Teams pages on how we're going to get those 4 customers and 1 distributor. So that's one of the obstacles that starts to happen. And a lot of it is you guys just don't know how to talk to them. And so hopefully that helps you guys on knowing, like, there's absolutely, I would have paid $500 to go for $5,000. Like, if I'm $50 ahead, I'm going to go for it. And so I want to make sure you guys, like, offer that and just take their hand and start to go with them. And here's another way is, maybe you're new and you're like, I don't even know anything myself. Your person that enrolled you, your upline, your team page, whatever you're in, they are there to help you. Like, I love that my girls are constantly texting me conversations like, how do you answer that? So that's a good thing. You want people to answer that. The more that you can help them and even answer in team pages, the more confident they're going to feel and starting to do that. So making sure that you do that. One of the other obstacles that we get is, my husband thinks it's a scam. Drop a 3 if you've ever heard that. Is that another obstacle that we're like,
what if your wife doesn't want to do one of those things again?
That was me. Like, I really didn't want to do this thing, you guys.
I was all in.
So how do we talk to those people that think it's a scam? And I was one that was like, well, it's one of those things again. It's one of those pyramid things. And so it's natural. So when you talk to them, like, I was that person. I thought the same thing, but it's really not. You're going to get product in your kit. And so if you're getting product, I love that we can say you're getting over $400 in value. And so you can turn around and use it yourself or sell it. So really there's no scam there. But my goal is to make sure that you get that $5,000. So why would I be talking to you about business if it wasn't real? So I love the whole it's a scam thing because that's something that comes up a little bit. But when you take it off of them feeling that way and saying, hey, I get that a lot. It's normal to feel that way because it is different, but it's just like any other business. You get started, you're going to get product, you're going to get a website. And then when you gather customers or even sell your product, you're making cash. Now, here's the deal. Worst case scenario is there is no commitment if you want to stop. And that like lightens the conversation so much. And that's not our goal though, right? Like our goal is to honestly get them in and start letting them see, okay, there's a interaction post. They've got some interaction. Okay, here's a message to send to your mom. I'm so excited. Or your friend about new product. Hey, I'm going to start a new weight loss product. Do you want to do this with me? So when you get them in, your goal is to help them make the money, because why sign them up if you don't want to help them, right? So that's a huge thing that I always do. Is worst case is you can stop at any time. So if that makes your husband feel better, you can tell him, hey, honey, I want the product anyway, or whatever. Let them know I could stop at any time. And so letting them know there is an out. And the reason why is I was that person. I told Joel, I was like, well, what if this doesn't work out? Like, what do? We don't have all this money. And I think people think sometimes they're locked in for years or something. I don't know. Like, I don't know really what I was thinking.
You join a business and you go to jail. I don't know what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just different. And it's okay to talk to them. Like, I totally get it. It's different, but I know so many people that have had success. Our team is amazing and we're all here to help you. And so hopefully that one will help you guys as well. Again, we're going to drop that into the chat, but I'm going to bring on, we're going to throw some of these up in the chat so you can do that. But Taylor, was there any other obstacle that you have gotten that you're like, oh yeah, this one is a good one?
Not necessarily. I mean, mainly just like I've never done anything like that before, or I don't know what to do or what I'm doing. And I just reassure them, hey, like, that's what I'm here for. I help you. I don't just sign you up and leave you high and dry. But just reassuring them, hey, like, you're going to be there through everything. And then obviously the money and everything, and just offering that value, making sure they understand what they have their hands on. But those are just my main two that I have.
You know, another one too is for those of you that are reaching out to people and they leave you, like, they read it and there's no response. Joel's going to put that one in there for you as well. This is a great way, you know, to just follow up with people. Hey, I'm super excited. I'm helping people get that $5,000 before Christmas. You know, you can make it how you want. Just wanted to touch base with you and see if you were ready to get started. Like, do you need a certain date to join? And so don't be afraid to reach out to them and ask them. Again, it's not something you need to spend a ton of time on, but if you're cleaning up and you're going through, sometimes people just don't want to let you know. They just don't have the upfront money, or they get paid on a certain date. So those are a lot of the obstacles that I'm constantly getting the same ones as you are, but I just know how to overcome those and how to talk to them and how to word it. So those are some of the things that I put up there. So I appreciate you, Taylor. I'm super excited that you got your 4-in-1 so quickly and that you're starting to help your new distributor do the same thing. It's like an exciting thing. And it really can be done simple and not overwhelming. I know you want to do more. Like, we don't want to slow you guys down, but really it's focusing really on getting those 4 customers in by September 30th. If you've been a distributor before September 7th, if you join September 7th, you've got 30 days from that start date, and so on after that. So it's kind of going to be a little bit different 30 days for each person moving forward. All right, Lizzie, are you on? Let's see if you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I'm here.
Yay. Hi, Mama. I feel like I've got the couple pregnant mamas on here tonight. So
I know, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and they're both glowing. Like, I can't wait to snuggle their babies. So I'm excited for that. But you had this is an interesting kind of a really blast off year, like huge. And then you got pregnant. That's not an excuse, you guys. I'm not saying that life happened to her. You know what? And both of these girls, life, that's a major thing to happen. Both of them promoted up and then life, but they didn't quit. And they're like, we're going to reset. We're going to restart. And one of the things that I love about Liz, and what you guys will love too, is she's so good at getting her mindset right. And that's a lot of why I even wanted to start with the story or end with it, is because we believe what we're telling ourselves. and what we're listening and who we're listening to. And it's just such a good reminder of don't beat yourself up, give yourself grace, and let's just start. And you did that. And your texts to me have been great. They're super positive. You're sending things, you're listening to the right material, and you're making it so simple. That's what I love about you in these texts is you concentrated on getting your 4-in-1, but now really duplicating that throughout. So tell us, how did you get your 4 customers and 1 distributors? Because I love letting people know how people are having success. So how did you get those?
So it was quite simple. I have done plenty of giveaway host to post when I was on fire, when I was going nonstop before the babies. And I lost a baby, but I've been very transparent with my Facebook, with me in general. And when I post about anything, people will comment because they're looking for this thing called my stories. I realized that people love to see your stories. And so I started being more transparent again. If you don't know me, I am not a picture person, but I started doing the pictures again and doing everything I needed to do to make sure that I was in the right mindset. I got open again. I started being transparent. And I, like you said, life hit. I have to be honest, it hit so quick that I was not expecting it. And so what ended up happening was I posted and I followed up and no one responded. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I think doubt hit me like the first little bit. I said, man, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing this. I went through that doubt. And my husband, thank God, someone speaks life to me when I'm at my lowest, told me that I did this and I hit triple diamond and I've helped people and I just had to slow down. And so sometimes life happens and you got to slow down. So I started with my customers and I just started following up. I did exactly what Taylor said. I started not letting no be the answer. I started being the yes. Like someone's going to tell me yes today. I did the Stephanie Dunn rule is like, I will sign a customer today and I'll get back into the swing of things. And so I set a goal and I just made it easy. Guys, I used to have to sign in my mind 40 to 50 customers a month. So when you get to only have to sign 4, it was like, oh, what am I overthinking? Like, this is easy. Like, oh, wow. Like, okay, I can do this. And then reduplication. I love talking to people and I love being in that customer service mindset. I do it in the military. I love helping others. And so I was like, okay, I can talk to this distributor. And even on their worst day, you have to be in a good mindset so you can pull them out of the mindset of not being in it. So for me, it was doing all the following. Host to post. It's the same thing Taylor said. Host to post is key. That's where I found both of my distributors that signed up. I asked them the simple question. It goes back to about 2 years ago. Joel Dunn said, literally, have you asked them, do they want to make extra money? So any message that you put in there about asking for, like, if you want extra money, and the people that do host to post will eventually sign up. Each person that did it, they've done it like 5 to 10 times. And I was like, are you ready? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. So that's how I got the distributor. But the customers came from posting, being real, sharing my life. And people will support you if you're real. Like you can, I love watching everyone's stories. I have to stop watching them because I got to focus in on making customers. But the thing is focusing on being real, showing the true you, letting them know that I can't take every product, but I can drink that skinny vanilla mocha and love it. And if I don't take it, I know I'm going to have a bad day because my body is loving it. And so is this baby. So I'm going to talk about it. And so they're like, well, I don't do that. And I'm like, well, don't worry. I've taken every product before then. And I show them my before and after. So if you're going through a life situation, know that regardless of it, you still have your before and afters if you've been in this business for a while. If you're new to this business and you're like, I don't know where to start asking. Just ask consistently. Don't give up and continue to move forward. Even on your worst days, if you at least got your messages out, you need to celebrate it. You just got to celebrate the wins. I'm emotional, hormonal. I almost cried during your story, Stephanie. Like I was like, oh gosh, I don't even cry. I don't know what's going on. But you have to take the wins each and every day and not beat yourself down when you don't get a message out. And if you're not consistent in host to post, I have a tip that works really good for me because I am a blended mom of 4 I have 3 kids in all these different sports. I am nonstop. I literally closed the door and got on this Zoom because I made my kids go to bed. And you just saw the senior walk through the background, but life happens. So as long as you're consistent and you show it and you are real when you're talking to these distributors and they're like, well, I don't know if I can manage life. Just be like, oh girl, I'm full-time active duty. I have kids, they're all in sports. I am a taxi driver from 7 to 9. And then as soon as I get in bed, I literally start sending out messages for host to post. And I put a timer, like Amber Parker said, the 30 minutes. And I just go through and I make sure I'm consistent and find you a mentor and accountability. Stephanie's my accountability. She may only heart it. I don't need her to respond. Sometimes I just got to get it out. So I'll be like, okay, I did it. I did exactly what I was supposed to. And majority of the time, I didn't realize how much moms are free at night compared to the whole day. So if you're sending in messages in the morning, know that they may not get to it till 10 o'clock. So don't beat yourself up because no one responded. They may just be really busy. And like me, probably forgot to eat, even though she's pregnant. And then she goes back downstairs and she's like quiet time and she's looking at her phone for the first time that day. And so with that being said, give yourself grace as you do this business. And that starts the mindset shift. That starts to the basics.
Yeah, I love that, you guys. And you just got to start. You got to start doing it. Even if you feel like people aren't watching your stories, they're not liking it, they're not commenting. You've got to be consistent with that because it takes people time to see it. And again, not everybody's on at certain times. So you can do all of that work, but you can also do the asking behind the scenes. So if you want those customers or distributor, what are you doing outside of the posts in your stories and all that extra that you're doing?
Just as a perfect example, posting in stories is the equivalent of sending out mailers.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to look at it.
What happens is you send out 1,000 mailers, you may only get 1 or 2 people that respond to it at some time. Mm-hmm. But that's the thing of it. You're just putting something out there and expecting somebody to return. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a small way of return. When you are actually physically, and this is Stephanie's power, is she's physically asking people every single day to join or to be a customer. Mm-hmm. You have to go out and ask.
I think something, I see this as maybe this is another obstacle for some of you. I'm doing the things, I'm doing the stories. I'm not getting the views. I'm asking for the host to post. People aren't putting up that. So do you struggle? Is that who I'm talking to right now? Are you one of those that are struggling right now on doing those things and you're not seeing the results? Okay. There's one yes. I was like, there's one yes. Okay, good. You guys are all getting huge results from all of that. Something that's reality check for me too, because we're human, right? Is I can have days where there's thousands of views. And then there's days where I'm like,
crickets.
What just happened to this story? And so what it does is it's a reminder to me of, I probably haven't been interacting with people. Have I gone and done happy birthdays? Have I commented before I actually put a story up? So write that down tonight, is making sure that 15 minutes before, and you guys, this is in KPIs and you're going to hear that, but making sure that you're messaging and talking to people before you start your story. Don't panic that you're not getting the views because those will come back. Are you just posting all it work stuff? Does it look too spammy? Just a product and not you actually doing it. Are you showing before and after pictures? What are some of the things that when you go onto somebody's social media, what are you looking at? People want to see what you're doing. They want to see your life. And if you can sprinkle in some things that you're doing, making that product and not even talking about it, sometimes just showing what you're making and going about your day, doing polls and stories, like, letting people know, hey, I've got a poll in my store. I need help. Which color dress should I pick? I think Amanda did that when it was the highest view or something that she'd ever have and the most things. So if people can hit a poll and they like it, comment back to them. Hey, thanks for the feedback. It'll start to bring up people starting to see your stories again. So that's okay if you recognize that. You guys you feel like that's a roadblock maybe coming your way, you can fix that. That's an easy fix. It's just recognize, don't panic, do that and still do the other things. Meanwhile, while you're working on that. And I think that sometimes where we get stuck is we're all of a sudden just interacting, and we forget about doing the ask, doing the host to post, and focusing on those 4 customers in 30 days and 1 distributor. And, you know, I don't want you to forget about all of the things that lead up to that. But if you do recognize it, go ahead and do that. Hopefully that was super helpful for you guys on kind of overcoming that a little bit. And it didn't happen overnight. And so that's why for me, like if you're building up your following, it's not going to happen overnight. So I want to make sure you guys know, don't compare your life to someone else's, because we don't know their behind the scenes of how long they've been actively working on building their list of people or what they've been doing.
Yeah, guys, we've been working at 12 years to look this awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just be around 12 years and you automatically look awesome. That's what I found.
Yeah, I'm still working on that. Joel seems to think that all the time. That's his amazing trait, that he's just like, I'm awesome, and awesome people are going to come to me. So I do think we need a little bit of that.
Guys,
like,
you just have to put it out there.
Distributors are going to come to
yes,
me.
I am a distributor gathering machine.
Yeah. So making sure that you do that. But I think I have covered a lot of obstacles for you guys. And maybe one of the most major obstacle is you think you've talked to everyone. So one of the things that I would recommend doing is pulling out your phone and going through the phone, the names that you have in your phone, and just reach out and just say, hey, I don't know if I've ever told you, but I'm in this amazing business right now and I could really use some help. Can I ask you a question? And that's scary for a lot of people.
Well, what's funny is, okay, guys, so super secret tip that Steph does, if you guys want to get together with a friend and then swap phones and let them text the people starting from the top down, at our last retreat, Stephanie actually made people switch phones. And for 15 minutes, they had to do that.
Everybody wanted to kill me.
Yeah, people were terrified. But guess what? People signed distributors and customers because they thought that they had messaged everybody. You know, there's 20 people in your phone list and on your friends list right now that you haven't asked because you're too chicken to. That's why it's called a chicken list.
I think when you're looking at it, and did you put the story in the chat? I'm going to have you do that story. Mm-hmm. You can put this. You did put it in, or no. You didn't? I'm going to put the story that I shared at the beginning in the chat, and I want you guys to save that. If you don't know how to save that, there's 3 little dots in the bottom of the chat if you're on your computer, and you can click that and it will save it to your computer. And so that you have this. So if you're feeling like, I really want Christmas cash, who really on this Zoom tonight wants Christmas cash? Give me a 1 if you really want Christmas cash.
I just turned off the chat.
Oh, we'll turn it back on. I want to see that. He's going to put it back on. We're going to see everybody. That's serious. So give it a second. Okay. Here comes all the ones. And the reason I say this is you're going to pull out your phone after this tonight because you really want to complete this. You've printed it off tonight, or you put it on your computer, whatever you did, you've got it, but you've got no customers. Are you going to be the gentleman that went to his mentor and said, oh, I do all the things, I want to be successful? Is your why strong enough that you're going to go, I don't even care, I'm going to go through my phone tonight, I'm just going to ask them a question? And the best thing, you guys, that can happen is one of them are going to say, yes, I'd love to help you. We're not going to talk about the worst case scenario because we're not even going to go there. We're going to talk about the absolute best case scenario. And that is somebody going, yeah, I've been watching you for a long time. You just never asked. That has happened to people. That would have been me. I wish I was praying for something, for a way to make extra money. I didn't know that it was this, but I wish somebody would have asked me earlier. And when you really take the time to truly believe that you're giving somebody a gift, of course, they're going to be like, okay, this is amazing. Yes, I want to try it. Again, they can stop. They're not committed, but that's not our goal, is because we want to make sure that we're going to help them and teach them how they're going to gather their customers, distributors, go and reach over and overcome their fears, overcome their obstacles, and how they're going to continue this 4-in-1 every single month. And we're going to unlock it. So those are some of the things, but we're going to go back to, everybody keeps asking about this app, and like, what is this app? Like this? Okay. So before we bring on Amanda, we're going to see if Amanda can unmute yourself. Amanda, are you on somewhere? She's in the car doing multitasking, probably. Max, I'm wondering if, Okay. I was like, I wonder if Maximus is in the car with you. That's what I was wondering.
No.
But this is going to be a last resort. So we talked about the obstacle of, well, I just don't have the money, or that's too much, or whatever reason they give you with money. Right. So this would be the last resort that I like to go to. But again, if you get your mind right and being like, this is about the value, guys, $149, you're going to get over 400, then this is going to help. But here is the app that you can also help them do. So we're going to have Amanda share how to utilize this app. So Amanda, tell them who you are. You've been with me. Like, you're one of my longtime girls. I love you. I love your energy. You're always positive, always willing to share, and always bring the excitement. And you guys, when she laughs, it's addicting. So you can't help but just like feed off of her. So Amanda, like,
Hi.
give us a little bit. I know you're a fur mama, but tell them, I was going to say, you're not pregnant. So
No,
we won't go
I'm not
there.
pregnant. No.
Yeah. So tell them a little bit about yourself, and then we'll give them the app.
Hi guys, I'm Amanda. I've been with Steph for 8 years. Wow, I can't believe it. And I've been, so doing the business. I joined when I was in college, just because I wanted the body wraps because that was in the kit. And I was like, well, why not join for $99? It's $99 to get it retail anyway. So let's just join the business. So I joined the business, didn't think that I was even going to even take it this far. It was going to be a side gig forever because I was going to like be this rich person in pharmaceuticals or something, I thought. And then I fell in love with the business, and this is like basically I do this full time. I also do nails too, but I don't work as much anymore because of this business. So yeah, that's me. And so this app is really cool. So before I would always use Klarna, and it would split the app into 4s, but doesn't allow you to use it anymore. I try to call customer service. I'm like, why is it not working? They're like, we don't know. And I'm like, okay, I'm going on Google and I'm figuring out something else. So there was another app called QuadPay, but it's now called Zip. So that's the app. If you guys don't know what it is, I can screen share it. So what I do first is I just find out how much the order is going to cost. So if the order is like $149 for the kit, or for example, you can like pretend to check out, and then it'll show you like the taxes and the shipping and everything like that. So I just get the exact amount. I think that if you just like estimate the amount, where it's like, if let's say like if it's 149 and some cents, but you don't know the cents, but you put in like 150, it's going to return you the couple cents if you don't use the full amount. Mm-hmm. But it's going to ask you, hold on, let me just share it. The screen, if it allows me. I don't know if it's going to work. Wait. Is it working? Wait, is it working?
There it is.
Oh my God, you see my phone? Okay, that's weird. Yep. Okay, so I put the app over here. So that's what the app looks like. It's Zip. And then in parentheses, it's going to say QuadPay. So it looks like this when you first log in, and you're just going to add your debit card to the payment methods, or whoever, like the person that is doing it. So you just tell them that. And then basically you just make a one-time card. So you can click on the left-hand corner. It says online. And then I just click like, I don't know, I'll put like it works or whatever. But like when you start typing in something on the bottom, it says create one-time card. So when you just click that, you just say like, how much do you want? Like, I'm just going to put like 149. And then when it does that, it's just basically going to tell you that it's going to split it into 4 payments. And that's it. So it just splits it. Oh, I guess there is a $4 merchant, like a $4 what is it called? Like a fee, but I didn't notice that before, but I guess that's what it does. And then they just split it into 4s, and it tells you the dates that you pay, and that's it. And then when you continue, on the bottom, it's going to say pay with this one-time card, and it has the card number, 6-digit card number, expiration date, and the 3 numbers on the back. And then I'm going to stop recording. And then, am I back? Okay.
Yep, you're back.
And then, so you do all of that. And then when you check out, it's just going to charge them like the first payment. Is that what I was going to say? Yeah, that's basically it. That's what it's going to do.
So you guys, it can help them get started. So if they have $40, they can go ahead and get started. So instead of the 150, that app actually does it step by step to break it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Rachel just put in if you're like, oh my gosh, I need a little bit more information on this. It's pretty basic. Like, I love that Amanda, like, I'm going to Google this. There's got to be a app out there that allows something, but you can download the app yourself and act like you're doing it and then write down everything step by step. So it's in kind of your wording, so that when you're walking somebody through how to do that, you guys can do that. Again, this is kind of a last resort, you guys. I want to make sure that that's something that, okay, maybe you are getting down to the wire and you're like, I just need my one distributor. I really want to help them. They're willing to put up a post right away. I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time, like, okay, trying to figure all this out when we want to get them in. And there's plenty of people, like I said, that haven't batted an eye, but I hopefully that helps some of you guys on kind of combating the money situation. Did that help you guys? Just drop a yes if it did. I'm sure it did, but because that's usually what we see is the obstacle of money when you guys are doing distributors. So I'm here to tell you, if you joined the business, you know how to do the business because you entered in your information or you sent somebody the information to them in a text. Go back through and see how that person talked to you. And that is really simply what we do. So if you're like, oh, I've never even talked to people or have a script, you can go back to that person that you joined with, and you're probably going to see they talk to you some way. Most people do it through text or in Messenger or something. So that you have, but if you joined, you can do the business. If you enrolled a loyal customer, you can go now and go offer them an upgrade to the distributorship and get them started. And then start teaching that distributor on how they can do their 4+1 and really go over and get that $5,000 Christmas cash. So I really hope that was informative for you guys. I hope that it was helpful, because that's my goal, is every single person on here to get $5,000 paid out to them by Christmas. Again, you guys, I want to thank the girls that shared tonight. They're always so helpful. I'm proud of them for always showing up, being consistent. And that's the best thing about this, is you don't have to go like wild, right? It's 4 customers and 1 distributor on the time that you have, focused energy on making sure you know that, having that why of, yes, I'm going to do that. Go back to that story, save it, read it when you're feeling like, okay, I need a customer today, or whatever that moment is that you're having, and make sure that you listen to that. And did you share that on the screen?
No.
Oh, I was going to have Joel share this, but you guys know, if you don't know, you're going to know now. It's in our e-suite. You can go print it off or take a picture of it. If you say, I don't have a printer, you cannot give me an excuse. I will get through that obstacle any and every way possible. There is always a way. And so if you know that, you can go on, take that picture, start writing that down, start writing your follow-ups, be consistent, and make sure that you are loud about making sure that people know who wants $5,000 before Christmas. So I appreciate you guys so much. We will see you again next week, Monday, same time, every single Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern. And you guys usually see me showing up. So I love you. Thank you, Taylor, Liz, and Amanda, for always sharing. And we'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.
See you guys.